And we welcome you back here on this historic Football Friday on WQAM. It is time to head out to the Toyota of Hollywood Hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location, Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan, toyotaofhollywood.com, where we are joined by Miami Hurricanes radio analyst and our dear friend Don Bailey Jr. DBJ, good morning. This is the biggest Football Friday in 25 years on WQAM, and we are happy to have you. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, buddy. I'm good. It is a pretty big one, isn't it?
It feels that way, Don Bailey. It feels that way. And I got to tell you, I don't know about you, but this has been a whirlwind. You go back to that SMU game, and from where we were there to where we are now, it is truly just a remarkable experience that we have gone through here over about the course of 2 months. And, man, a chance to play for a national championship, Don. It was all in the plan at the University of Miami. They bought in fully, and starts at the top with our great president, Joe Echeverria, and it goes all the way down to the the staff on that team. And it's all been in the plan, Don Bailey, but it's we're seeing it right now unfold, and it's a pretty special time.
Yeah, well, we shouldn't be surprised because it was a plan, and it was a commitment by the university, commitment by the athletic department, commitment by the players, and really, and you have a head coach that's been committed to winning football games since he got here, and he was committed to putting the University of Miami back on the map as the premier team in all of college football, and he did it in textbook timing, and he did it his way, and I'm very, very proud of the people that have made the decision to make sure that Mario Cristobal was our head coach and Dan Radakovich was the athletic director, and that we had buy-in from the people that were needed, and more importantly, the players bought in and believed in their coach, and that's what happens.
Don Bailey Jr., when you look at this Indiana Hoosiers team, they don't make mistakes. They don't beat themselves. They're sound in virtually every area. But can Miami exploit them at the line of scrimmage, which is something Miami's done to everyone that they've faced so far this year, Don? Is there going to be that opportunity to play as physical as we have for the past 15 games?
Yeah, Alex, I don't know how much exploiting is going to be done in this game by either side. Yeah. I think it's going to be the team that makes the least mistakes and crucial mistakes. I think, the run game for both sides is going to be paramount. They've got two backs that have combined for over 2,000 yards. I mean, they're 40 yards shy of having two 1,000-yard backs. So, it's almost like looking in the mirror. You're really shadow boxing with yourself in this football game because there's so much alike. They're both physical on both sides of the line of scrimmage. They've got skill talent. They've got both, a pair of backs that everybody believes in. So I think it's going to be, a 15-round fight. I really do, and it might go to the last second of the last round. I mean, that's how it looks to me. I'm not buying into all the points and all the, the scoring and the things that has been accomplished by Indiana. I think this is going to be a physical football game, and Miami has matched up against the Southeastern Conference in the playoffs, and they've twice and come out ahead. And they matched up against the Big Ten, and they came out ahead, and they certainly did a good job in the ACC. So Miami's prepared.
Don, we have two fantastic stories at the quarterback position for both teams, right? I mean, Miami and Carson Beck and everything that he went through in the offseason, and now to lead a game-winning drive in the semifinal, get his team to a national championship. What an incredible story that's been. On the other side, you got a quarterback from down here, from Columbus High School, who won the Heisman Trophy, who's coming back to his hometown to play for a national championship. Don, there are no shortage of great storylines going into this football game.
Yeah, you're right. And I mean, there's half a dozen or better kids from South Florida on Indiana's team. And, I think the quarterback story on both sides are today's college football, right? I mean, you've got Mendoza, who was overlooked by, and let's clear this up, the entire state of Florida and the entire country, except for an Ivy League school and for Cal. So the whole country overlooked him. It wasn't just everybody in Coral Gables. So that he was overlooked. He went into Cal, had a great year, a great 3 years there. He's developed himself, has gone to Indiana, and has had a Heisman Trophy year. And you can't deny that. And you have Carson Beck, who was a Southeastern Conference guy who went to a couple national championships as a freshman and sophomore. And unfortunately for him, and really maybe fortunately for Miami, he was injured at his last year at Georgia, and he came down here, and it took a little bit for him to get acclimated to the offense and the terminology. And I don't believe that either team would trade either quarterback. I think I know Miami's 1,000% satisfied with Carson Beck, and I would imagine the same can be said for Indiana.
And I think Carson Beck too, Don, has silenced a lot of doubters. And the other thing I see from him is he is truly enjoying this run, and he is truly enjoying being a Hurricane. And you can see it on his face after these games. There's a lot of emotion there with Carson Beck. And it really, you look into that story, man, that is a true feel-good story for a good kid.
Yeah, it really is. And, he's come down here and overcame an injury that was really detrimental to his process in getting better and learning the offense. I mean, no spring football, limited into fall, and then you're not throwing to your receivers. The difference is you look at Mendoza. He goes in there in the spring. He's got all spring practice with that team. He's got all the fall, and that's a lot of lost reps. It's one thing if you're in the same offense, but you're not. But Carson Beck to me is done everything that he has been asked to do. He had partially some issues. They were not all his fault with interceptions in the middle of the season. He's rectified that. He's added the run game to his repertoire in the last 2 weeks, and that has been a huge difference. So he's shown to me that he's coachable and that he's prepared to lead the Miami Hurricanes through the smoke for their 6th national championship.
Yeah, Don, I don't think Miami's defensive secondary gets talked about enough. I think it's because the defensive line steals most of the headlines with what Bain and Mesidor have done. But, when we look at what players like Keontae Scott and Jacoby Thomas especially have done this season, the role that they can play on Monday, but also, we're expected to be, without Xavier Lucas for the first half with a targeting suspension, probably Ethan O'Connor, the next man up. I mean, talk a little bit about how that group is going to match up against a really talented Indiana receiving core.
Yeah, Alex, I don't think people realize how talented the receiving core is, especially their first 2 guys. I mean, they're off the charts good, all conference guys. And forget if somebody's got a postseason accolade, the numbers are productive and they catch the football and they have the relationship with the quarterback. And I think you're right. I think a lot of praise has been heaped on the defensive front of Miami, the down 4, especially the 2 bookends, and it should be. But I think to just focus on one aspect of this defense is not fair to Corey Heatherman and what's gone on there. This man came in here and literally we're in a national championship game because we're playing national championship defense. We're playing championship offense. We're playing championship special teams. But we were not playing championship defense last year, and we're playing it now. And it's at all 3 levels. And Lucas being out, does that hurt? Yeah, it hurts. It hurts for 30 minutes, but they've been out without players throughout the season, and they're just going to have to weather the storm. And he'll come back in the second half. And I have all the confidence in the world in what the game plan will be for the entire Miami Hurricane defense and Corey Heatherman and how he'll be able to handle Indiana and Mendoza.
Don, how much does being in Miami play a factor? I know the Canes are technically the road team, but they get to sleep in their own beds and practice in their own facility throughout the week.
I thought originally it was huge, right? And I mean, to me, honestly, there's no place to play the game as far as a ferry book goes than to play it at Hard Rock Stadium. But I'm not so sure it wouldn't be easier to be getting on a plane today and going to Atlanta or California or Dallas or Arizona to play the national championship and put 1,000 miles or 4,000 miles between the distractions and preparing for a football game. Mm-hmm. So, I have for emotionally for our fans, I think it's the greatest reward that you can give them. And I'm so grateful that it is here. If I'm a head coach, I'm being honest. I mean, it's nice that we've slept in our beds and we leave Friday night and we go check in for an away game, and I don't have to worry about tickets anymore. I don't have to worry about distractions that come up with being at home, because when you're on the road at the hotel, you're monitored pretty much 24/7. When you're here, when you leave the building, you're on your own. So, I love it for the fans. I'm not so sure that I love it as a coach.
Don Bailey Jr. here with us on WQAM as we get set for Miami and Indiana on Monday night at Hard Rock Stadium. And DBJ, this feels like it'll be another game that is going to be close, and a game that might come down to some plays late down the stretch. With that being said, you talked about special teams, clearly going to be a big factor in this game. You're going to have to execute there. And then you talk about penalties. People have mentioned those to us this morning. That's certainly creeped up in the Ole Miss game. And then, I've been working with you, I don't know, over 10 years now, and you've been talking about this turnover thing. And for the first time in that entire time we've been working together, I think you might be onto something. I think Miami's got to find a way to win the turnover battle in this game.
If you want to win the game, in my opinion, if you're looking for a category, that's first. I mean, Indiana doesn't give it away, and they do a great job of taking it away. That's all you have to know. You see what happens is when you get extra possessions, you see what happens when you have the ability to to stop momentum by taking the football away. I think it's paramount. And, I'm okay with the break even. If Miami's got a +2, I think there's no question they're in a great spot to win the game. If they are a -2, I think they're going to put themselves in jeopardy of losing this football game. And but you're going against a team that is at the top of college football at the end of the playoffs and everything, and give away, take away, and that's what they've hung their hat on.
Yeah, and Don, thinking on offense, is Malachi Toney going to be able to find and create some space in this game? And listen, the other receivers have to step up as well, Don. But how do you see Miami's receivers matching up against that D?
I think Miami's receivers are going to do what they've done every single football game. They're going to get open, and Malachi Toney is what people don't realize is it doesn't. Malachi Toney Day is every game. It just may not look the same every game. And if they commit 2 guys to dealing with Malachi Toney, then guess what? Miami wins. And if they don't, then Malachi Toney's going to torch you, and he's going to have a great day, and Miami still wins that battle. So Malachi Toney is a double-edged sword. If you take him away, you're taking the pressure off another position. If you don't take him away, we've seen this whole year, and that's why he's going to win a Heisman Trophy, in my opinion, at some point in his career, that he can take over a football game. And they have to. Coach Cignetti's got to decide how they want to deal with Malachi Toney.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Don. And I think Miami's got a few weapons on offense that they will certainly look to go to in this game. But I know they're going to stick to that identity, and it is going to be run the football. It is going to be run heavy here for the Hurricanes. And you guys, we talked about this last game too. The longer the drives, and Miami did a fantastic job sustaining drives in that game. The longer you can keep your offense on the field, the less we're going to see of that Heisman Trophy winner under center on the other side of the ball here. So I think that's going to be a big key for Miami. Can you get those long, 6, 7, 8-minute drives in this game and keep their offense off the field?
Well, that's the goal. I mean, for over 40 minutes of time of possession, certainly to me was the winning category against Ole Miss, and against a quarterback that is a far bigger pain in the rear end to me, to defend over the entire field against. So I'm big time of possession, and they had long drives. They've proven that Miami can have long drives, and it'll be a part of it. And the key to that, of course, is going to be winning first and second down. So if Miami's kicking butt on first and second down, it's gonna bode well for them on third down.
Don, I want to bring this full circle. You've of course played at Miami. 70s and early 80s. You've been a part of these broadcasts for so long. You've got the pulse of the fan base. What does it mean to this program and to this city for Miami to be at this point playing for a national championship again?
I don't think that there's really anything other than possibly, the Dolphins playing a Super Bowl here that unites this community more than University of Miami football winning games, whether it's, bowl games or national championship games or regular season games. This community is a mixed bunch of folks, and one thing that unites them is the University of Miami. So I think it's absolutely priceless, and I don't mind that we have, after this game, that we will have 400,000 people that attended that are from the city of Miami. Everybody will have said that they were at the game, and that's, the number has grown since the 1983 championship game. I think that number's at 1 million people now, but that's the beauty of it. And I think that this university has done a phenomenal job through its history of setting an example for this community. And they set an example with their athletic department, their academics, and their medical system. And this is the heartbeat of Miami, period, the University of Miami. And to have the opportunity to give this community something to root for that's made up of a majority of young men from this community and a head coach that was born and raised and played in this community, it's unbelievable. And I think it does nothing but great things for all of us, no matter where you work, what you do. Everybody, for the most part, is going to be rooting for the University of Miami, and it's as good a feel-good story as there is ever in college football.
Yeah, it is unbelievable, Don, and I think it'll hit when we're standing in that booth, getting countdown to kickoff rolling from the national championship game. That's going to be kind of one of those surreal moments there. I'm really looking forward to that. Only a couple more days to go here at DBJ, and we'll get that last countdown to kickoff of the year going, and that'll be a lot of fun, man. I'm really looking forward to it, DBJ.
I am too. Everybody at QAM does a phenomenal job, and it's Victor Bermudez, of course, leads the bunch, and I'm sure he doesn't get enough credit in my mind, and everybody involved, from the sidelines to Joe to Josh, you, Monroe, and Dono, and the gang. Everybody pulls their weight, and it's important to us, and that's why it's a success.
Well, DBJ, hoping for one more success, and we will see you at Hard Rock Stadium on Monday afternoon, my friend.
All right, guys, I'm looking forward to it, and go Canes.
Yes, sir.
Go
Don
Canes.
Bailey Jr. here with us on WQAM. We got a broadcast on Monday. DBJ will have the call alongside the voice, Joe Zagacki. We will have that all for you beginning at 3 o'clock, right after Hockman and Crowder and Solano. We'll have that for you again, 3 o'clock. On Monday, we'll start our countdown to kickoff. Myself, Brian Monroe, Josie, DBJ, Josh, they'll have the broadcast for you. And then Dono will take the reins from there, and he will handle what will hopefully be a victorious post-game, a celebratory post-game show. Fingers crossed. Yes, sir. All right, we're going to take a pause, and we come back. I want to get to more of your calls here this morning. I want to hear from the Canes fans. 305-567-0560 is how you jump on in, talk to Trevor, give him your name. We'll get you in and out real quick here this morning, and just give us your take on how you see Miami and Indiana playing out Monday night at Hard Rock Stadium. We're back with your calls on QAM after this.